All right, to watch this video for Friday, June 15th. The SPY kind of a quiet inside day, but man, that doesn't mean there wasn't stuff to trade. I took some screenshots I want to share with you because I think it highlights what makes our chat room different. I took some screenshots today. This was just a typical red to green. We had DEST on the morning gap playlist showing you 2-minute candles. It sold off, and I'll slide this over. I didn't capture it on the same picture, but I took a screenshot. Wayne calling DEST over 4, which is basically what we look for. One of the things we look for on a low float gap up like DEST. I love the fact that it hit 4 early. So then we had the combination of the red to green right here, high of day break, all right at a whole number break. See the 4 there? And look what happened. The results were immediate. Just a great way to start the day. And we'll get that out of the way now. Another call in DEST. Let me slide this over. Maybe I can just blow it up there. Another call in DEST was later in the day. See this little flag here? I called it 461 with a 449 stop when it was flagging before the trigger. We always call stuff before the trigger, not, hey, I just took XYZ, right? We don't buy something and tell everybody. So I call this, I don't know if you can tell, time-stamped 1213, but it was before it broke the range, and you can see the results. The thing ended up going to 547 ultimately. So even if you missed the red to green or you don't like taking morning gap plays, it was so strong it gave a really clean setup right here. So, 461 with a 449 stop. What is that? 12 cents risk? And went up to 547 from there. So another example of keeping a stock on watch, right? And then revisiting it. Actually called a bottoming play in AMD. Somebody posted in the room that AMD was selling off. It was just straight down. I've noticed a lot of weak stocks bounce in front of the half. When I say in front of the half, meaning the 50 cent area. And I posted this again, timestamped as it was falling, said perhaps a 1 setup, meaning 1 minute candle buy setup around the half. And it did get into the 50s, which you see it a lot. When something gets downside shape, a lot of times they'll turn right in the 50s, which it got down to, I don't know, 1558, maybe something like that. The ones trigger was right here at 1571. Low of day stop was only 14 cents away. So on 14 cents risk, and you can see from 1571 went to 1628. So just an example of a bottoming play, right? Not necessarily a breakout play. I'll slide another one over. Took a lot of screenshots today. Wayne, INSY, he had originally called this over the high of day, and you see that after that he said he only got a partial fill because it happened pretty quick. But then he also said, hey, it's still clean over the half, meaning over 50, which was basically, you can't see it on this chart, was basically yesterday's high. So there's another potential catalyst, big seller at the half. And even if you took it through the half, went up really nicely from there. Another nice call. And then a less than tricky setup, Stitch Fix, SFIX. I typed out 2670, 2635, meaning entry and stop idea, and sounded the bell. And it's just basically an intraday cup and handle, right? There's the early high, there's the cup, there's the handle, and that was the idea. 2670 breaks the high of day. And it went up, I don't know, to almost 28 from there. Another really, really nice one. So there's some highlights from the day. What are we watching tomorrow? And the reason I point that out is just I love the teamwork in there. After the SPY, still consolidating here. If I show you on 5-minute candles, you had some tariff talk and everyone's panicking over a possible trade war and all that. So you had the big sell-off. But you know what? This market is strong and is holding up really well. So here's my watch list for tomorrow. I want to put DEST back on watch now. It's, what we call stupid extended, but maybe we get a low-risk red to green in it tomorrow and you get a follow-through day. You never know. It doesn't cost us anything to put it on a chart. ANY is just kind of really coiled down here after this big volume spike back here and then a lower high, then another lower high. It's really close to a possible breakout. Just stumbled across that one today and thought, you know what, I'm going to put that on watch for tomorrow. TNTR, nice volume and held up pretty well, closing close to the highs. Definitely want to watch that one. Dry ships, can you believe it? Dry ships had trouble with 450 back here, back here, back here, and then finally kind of broke out today. There is another potential catalyst, the October high, which is 559. It got up to 534 today. So I want to keep my eyes on dry ships, and with that in mind, a couple others that I want to watch. TOPS, TOPS. Let me zoom in a little bit. A lot of times when one shipper gets going, the rest of them follow. TOPS has a kind of a nice setup. You had 25 million shares here, and it's really just coiling since then. Certainly looks good over this kind of tight range, over 116, 117, especially if we see dry ships going again. And another one, PXS, also looks good. You had this big pop back here on about 5 million shares that went to 174, and it's just coiling ever since, and a little bit of extra volume today, probably because of dry ships. Looks good over today's high, over 132. TPIV, had this thing on watch all day, and look at the intraday. Look what it does. Just does nothing, 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 and then right at the end of the day pops. No way I'm going to mess with it that late in the day. But with that strong close, this one might take out today's high, might rip through 9 and squeeze again. So definitely want to keep my eyes on TPIV. A few more. CODX had this pop yesterday and gave it all back, but then today it's starting to climb again. So, and I think in after hours that was getting a little bit of volume. So I want to keep my eyes on that one. IDT, very nice flag after this pop. I don't have any kind of trigger price. Maybe over today's high, over maybe over the half. Let's see, what did I hit here? Hit 652 here. Maybe if it breaks 650, you'll take out the 52, you'll take out the 64, and maybe run to 7. I don't know, but it's a handsome flag after this volume spike. It's a thinner stock, so keep that in mind. A couple more. ACST, big pop today on nice volume, closing strong. We'll see if we can get a follow-through day there. And lastly, ASNA, really strong stock. And now a few days lower into that buy zone we talk about between the 8 and the 20-day moving average. It's getting close to a point where if it's going to bounce or turn back up, it should. There's plenty to watch. We'll add some gappers in the pre-market as well, so certainly plenty to watch. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. There's a couple other charts that are kind of interesting. Keep an eye on all those baby shippers if the shippers get going. But I think I've covered enough of them here. I don't want to. There's no need to have them all, on charts. You just need a couple. So, all right, I'm done babbling. Have a great night. See everybody tomorrow.